let me turn this off. Actually, just take the goggle off. What's going on, guys? Uche and Njoku, and I am wrapping up my day. Um, and again, I want to thank you who are engaging in this conversation about Leica. And I really, really want to get away from this depth of conversation that is circled around race and Leica, but a lot of the things I'm reading are actually pretty cool. Like people coming out and speaking about how um, about their Leica journey and also about their lack of Leica journey. There were a lot of people who were like, "Listen, that's cool and all, but I'm going to stick to my space using Canon or using Nikon or whatever that thing is that is their jam." Let me turn my ringer off here. Um, so it's been pretty cool. But I want to give you an update about me and my Leica journey. So, as you all know, I am a principal at a middle school in the South Bronx, District 7. I love what I do. This is my third school as a principal. This is my eighth year as a principal, I think. Man, it's funny, but this is about to be my 20th year in education. But the thing that's interesting is because of the work that I do, of course, running a school, creating a program that allows kids to really engage in digital communications. Um, Photography and videography has been a big part of what we do, exposing our students to tech that's up to par with what is used in professional settings. I'm a believer that our kids need to have in their hands the technology that is commensurate to what they would experience if they were to take what we're teaching them here into a professional space. And the most beautiful thing about digital communications, photography, videography, is that literally all you need is just a little bit of know-how. There's no certifications. There's no, oh, you got to get this certificate and this accreditation to be a content creator, to be a photographer, to be a videographer, to be a graphic designer. You just have to have know-how and skill, and we're giving them the foundation so that they can take to the next level. So, okay, I said a lot there. Because of that, I'm surrounded by cameras all the time, literally all the time. I have tech around me all the time. And not only that, not only for my own personal enjoyment, but part of the work that I do. And like right now, I'm sitting right here in front of me. This is a Canon R6 Mark II. Today we had a award ceremony where we were giving the kids the honor roll certificates and medals, and we're celebrating perfect attendance and all those great things. If some of you remember from being students in middle school, high school, elementary school, and of course, my students were taking pictures and documenting the event. And again, we can have and listen, the best camera you can have is the camera that's in your hand, what's in front of you. But I always want my students to be able to make meaning and create and make pictures using cameras that a lot of people would say, oh my God, they're too young to have that in your hands. But no, today my main photographer is a 13-year-old eighth grader. Oh, she might be 12, no, 13, who is taking amazing pictures. She made 67 pictures, which is being edited into a video that we're going to put together to put on our website to share with our families. Again, it was a student. But I say all that, to say that my challenge is this now. My Leica M11P, which is my, when I take this camera out, I just feel like I can be so creative. I can sit here and, use that rangefinder, align the images and capture an image and be able to look at it and say, wow, like look at the way like this image just feels different from what I take when I take this. When I take a picture with this camera, what happens is I get this amazing, like just very crispy, clear image. And I wish I could show you both of this to you, but I can't. I'm recording on my iPhone, and I'm a minimalist. I want to not have to spend hours editing. So you're gonna have to go with my description, and hopefully those of you who are watching this are not watching this video because you want to buy a camera, but because you want to have um, uh, an educated listening session about the tech and how you use it and versus how I use it, and just spawn conversation. So this right here, my Leica, allows me to just walk around and compose and try to figure out how do I make that look so amazing and capture what I see. And again, I'm using the 28 millimeter Summicron f2 to do my magic here, right? And the images come out looking very classical. You know, the bokeh is not just the blur, the color itself feels like something ripped out of the 70s or 80s, where the colors were so dynamically rich, you know. Definitely not how our eyes see the world, but the images came out so just like, wow, the reds were red, the browns were browner. It was just kind of like somebody took life and just tapped more color into it. But then with this camera, this is a beast. You know, the R6 Mark II is no doubt is a professional camera. When I take a picture, I'm catching colors the way as close as possible to what I'm seeing in real life. The blur itself, of course, because of the depth of field, is like I'm talking about like just like somebody just melted the background. You know, you have to try and make out what you're seeing there. But with the Leica, the blur itself is in layers. You know, it's like the further in the Leica I look, the blur it is. But it's a progression that bokeh on here. But this here just is like a mosh, just blah, everything's just in there, but it's beautiful. And then the image that is in focus is so realistically real. Like this is what I look like, right? And it's such a powerful thing. But I still also say that as I'm spending time creating here, I can't just help but appreciate the speed in which I can capture images as things are happening around me. So um, my students, I've put the Leica in their hands. I've let them walk around taking pictures. And my thing is, it's a tool, regardless of the cost. And they're taking pictures. And the thing though is, I see them, I guess, as I do, the pause, the wait, they're just trying to get the focus in, trying to make sure everything is it should be before I capture the picture when I'm doing that with my Leica. But here, once I've metered the lighting in the room and I'm pretty confident about the ISO, I'm just running, shooting, gunning and shooting, spraying, just catching what I need to catch because things are happening so fast. So by the time I focus on what I need to focus on my Leica, often I've missed other things because I'm so focused on what I'm looking at. And if it's people, they tend to be very patient, but they're waiting for that picture. But here, I can just be like, hey, let me get a picture. Next. And the thing with that is, because of the work that I do with my students, because of the fact that this year we've been invited to capture so many events, I find myself, because I have to catch so much information, make so much pictures, so many pictures at events and in situations that are happening within the school, my Leica is always with me, but I don't use it as much. And it makes me really depressed. Because I know what I can create with the Leica, but the problem is by the time I get that one shot, there's 10 other shots I probably could have gotten. Maybe not 10, but at least 2 or 3 other shots I could have gotten. So it's like I have to, with here, I take a picture. When I turn, I have to readjust because depending on where my subject is, versus here, the autofocus, since I do the half press, focus, picture. Here, picture, refocus, recompose, reimagine, and often what is it I'm trying to capture, and then I find myself then saying, okay, here's the picture that I want to catch here, and sometimes it can be very slow, but however, the final image never disappoints me, but I'm struggling because I want to take more. I want to take all my pictures here, but I can't because I could take probably in a time I'm with my Canon, with autofocus and everything. I could probably take 100 pictures versus maybe 100 great pictures, like crisp, on point, well composed. 100 of these here, and at the same time, this will probably be more like 30 or 40 because I have to just make sure it looks right, the lighting is right. I have to think. Um, yes, it's depressing because I wish I could use this more often, in these run and gun type situations. But however, I guess I also do appreciate the fact that this I have to slow down. This has to be thoughtful about. This I have to put myself in a place, in a position where I can know that all I'm doing is this. And it's I guess it's the artist's dilemma, the creator's dilemma. What tool makes the most sense? The tool that you want to use all the time, or the tool that you have to use so you can make the most of your time? What do you think? Share with me, how do you balance, if you're fully a Leica user, how do you solely put yourself in positions where you can control the environment, or better yet, where you don't let the environment control you? Or do you have to put down on your Leica to pull out your Sony A7, or your Canon R series, or your Nikon, or whatever it is, Fujifilm, so that you can be more efficient? Is a question of efficiency versus, you know, technical, time taken capture of images, where you're taking your time to just make sure you're catching what it is that you want to catch. Ah, yo, that's my question. That's my thought process. Um, I appreciate y'all and all that you're pouring into my thought process, because when these videos allow me to think and really ask myself, what kind of photographer do I want to be? And then your comments are often supporting me and helping me see a space and see things that also I bring back to my school and to my kids' education in photography and videography and digital communications. Yeah. Well, with that being said, I gotta get back to work. Yes, this is an amazing, amazing thing. This is for another conversation. But the Apple Vision Pro, this is how I get work done. Spatial computing is the shiznit, but that's a conversation for another time. All right, y'all, be well. Peace.